able to get a job in their field within the first year of studying here.
And I just called my dad crying that this has happened, discussing my pay now.
Yeah, we are discussing your pay now. As of now, a student has to apply for jobs. What would be your 5 tips to help them get their first field job? Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Share It with Shreya, a podcast for international student by an international student. Today's episode is really special because I have somebody who was able to get a job in their field within the first year of studying here. So when people were finding it difficult to get a job, a part-time job, a non-field related job, she was able to get a good paying full-time marketing field job. So let's welcome Simran. Hi Simran.
Hi,
thank
Shreya.
you for being here. Firstly, I want to know how studying in Canada came into your mind. What inspired you to come to Canada as such?
So I really did not have a Canadian dream, or per se, I did not wanted to come to abroad. I had no plans when I was young, and I was planning my career. I organized this Harvard Asia conference in India, which was happening for the first time. The people from Harvard University, students and professors, they came to India to organize this conference for the very first time. And I was the one who brought that conference to India for the first time by writing a bid book. So while I was in that moment and I was interacting with professionals in Harvard and students, I saw that their lives were amazing. So then the thought of going abroad and studying in a good university, a good business school came to my mind. In 2022, September, I came to Canada. I did project management as my first course because back in India, I studied finance, and I don't know why, but I was always in a serious career. I did my BCom, then I did major in finance. After that, I pursued project management. It was a very analytical and serious career. My personality was very different from what I was pursuing professionally.
Yeah.
I was always a creative person, straight from writing a book for the Harvard Asia conference. Also, I'm an author. Okay. So I've written a book. I've authored a book. It's Home in Infinite Spaces. It's a real life story of a yogi who was a multimillionaire first, and he just dropped his riches and he traveled the world as a yogi. Oh. So he was spreading peace and humanity and all those messages after achieving a highest peak success in his career. So I was very creative person, and I loved connecting with people. I did not knew why I was taking a serious track and why wasn't I pursuing my career in what I loved. I always worked in marketing though. Back in India as well, I had 3 to 4 years of experience working in marketing field, and so the second course I took, I was really patient, and I decided that no, if I really love what I do, I have to take up steps for myself and align myself accordingly. So the second course I took, which is now what I'm currently studying, is digital and content marketing at York. I believe that this course is amazing because I've met amazing people like you. So yeah, that's how my journey formed in the first place.
Yeah. So obviously, talking about marketing, what specifically in marketing motivated you, and where your journey of this course also is leading you to?
I started my page on WordPress, where I started writing blogs and poems and all those things, and my friends and family who read it loved it, and I was like, okay, I'm really good at this. I then joined an NGO where I was offered to meet new people, and that's where I met Yogesh Mathuria, the person I wrote the book about. Okay. While writing the first book, I was literally someone who was not experienced in writing, no professional experience whatsoever. I started from the scratch, understanding what he was trying to say and articulating it in my books, in my words. So that's the whole concept of where the content writing journey began. I landed up the first job as content manager at Kazam, and they like
Back in India.
yes,
Yeah,
back in
okay.
India. So that job was in Bangalore.
Okay.
It was during the time of pandemic, the when pre-pandemic. So it was mostly hybrid, and yeah, I worked as a content manager. I learned what content writing was actually about. I learned SEO. I learned to how to write blogs, articles, and all those technical skills. I just watched the videos and I did my own research. So that's what helped me to land that job. After that, I think my career trajectory moved to towards content writing, content specialist, and I've worked in multiple jobs at this position.
So by the time you came to Canada, you already had a very well work experience of about 2 years, if I say so, 2 or 3 years.
I have almost three plus years of experience.
Yeah. Your work experience and what motivated you towards marketing and towards Canada. Now I want to know, once you land in Canada, thereafter the first thing that every student does is go haywire on the market of looking for a part-time job, and whether it is their field or not, they don't care. They just want a job, and that's quite understandable given the condition that we are in.
Yes.
What was your situation, and when and how you decided? Were you applying for other jobs as well, or were you just looking for your marketing roles?
I have an interesting backstory. Back in India, when I was packing my bag, my father was speaking to my uncle who stays in Canada, and my uncle was, send her here, everything will be well, she'll find jobs and all that thing. So I packed my bags, and my dad just said, be prepared to do whatever you will face. Okay, and I was like, okay, fine. I will be, of course, I'm going to a new country. I will be prepared to whatever opportunities or whatever challenges that come my way. So I landed here in Canada and was initially staying with my uncle. He has a PG, or students stay at his apartment.
Sort of a student accommodation, yeah.
Yes. So most of them were actually doing the field jobs. Someone was working at Tim, someone was doing factories, other was doing part-time jobs. When I landed here on day one, when I was when I saw them doing part-time jobs, I was afraid, okay, maybe I have to do this as well. I still remember that I went with my aunt to get a mobile plan and things. So we went to a mall, and she actually rushed to a store and asked if they have a part-time job for me, and I was like, whoa, wait. So back in India, I had gained a diverse experience. I was so confident about doing better things here and growing and taking my career to another level. I was not ready to degrade from where I was coming. So the thing that she did really panicked and freaked me out, and it was very normal for her to do it because she was only trying to help me out. But for me, I went in the dilemma that did I do the right thing by coming here in Canada? Is it like every student who comes here have to do it? So I spoke to another students who were already staying there, and they were very well convinced that this is only what we have to do, and that's the only way out of it. Like, you have to spend your student life doing part-times and then doing studies. And I just called my dad crying that this has happened. I don't want to work part-time. I will not work for 1 month. Just give me some time. I'll figure something out. If I don't figure something out, I'll take up whatever I get. But give me 1 month. Don't pressurize me, or don't tell uncle to find jobs for me.
Get a job for
I'll figure something out. That 1 month for me was very challenging because I had to prove something to myself, to my parents, and to the people I was staying with. I obviously did not want to I was not ready to accept the defeat yet, because I believe that try करके देखते यार
नहीं होगा तो कोई बात नहीं.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Everyone was saying no, you will not find a job. Every student I interacted with, I was like, okay, I have to shut all the noises that are around me, and I have to focus on what I am here for. For that 1 month, I remember staying in staying in my own zone, not speaking to anyone. Being in the new country and not speaking to anyone was literally tough, because I was minding my own business. What I started with was, back in India, I didn't realize that I didn't had a portfolio of the work I did, but I'm sure I worked on multiple projects, multiple things. I had good connections. So I started compiling all of that together in one portfolio, built my resume, and I started mindfully applying to companies. So honestly, starting में तो सब LinkedIn पे जाके apply. But there was no response whatsoever. I started emailing those companies, this is my portfolio, this is what I've done, work back home. No replies whatsoever. I'm like, do people really read emails? A month after applying and reaching out to people on LinkedIn, what I started doing differently was actually LinkedIn pay, when you apply to a job, you can see who the recruiter is. So I started sending personalized messages. Instead of speaking about who I was talking about what they do on their social media currently, and how can I add a value, or what they do in the marketing currently, and how can I change or add a value to their table. Instead of me looking desperately for a job, I was very well convinced that I have to show the value that I'm bringing to their table. So that was the whole process. One day I just got a call for an interview and landed up the first job in marketing and sales. It was a healthcare staffing company. So they had accommodated the part-time job for me just because they saw the potential that she can add value to our table. So they did not did it for other students. It was just for me that they gave me on an hourly basis for 3 days, which was a part-time 20 hours work week. So that was the first job I landed. I called my dad and said that, I just asked you for some time and I finally did it. Like, okay, kar liya maine. And everyone was shocked. Okay, how was she actually able to pull it off? Like, people staying in the house, obviously they were my age, and they were also from good colleges and universities, and they were stuck in this loop because nobody motivated or nobody just said ki nahi milegi. So just because of that mentality, I think a lot of people just give up without even trying. And I think that's a very negative part about being a student here, because when you get a right mentorship, you follow that lead.
Yeah, it's also about that. I always keep this thing in my mind that if you are applying for like 100 jobs in your part-time, it's okay to have a backup, that's fine. Okay, if you want to apply for part-time jobs, that's totally all right. But then also apply for your field jobs. Keep on applying for it, because anyways you're getting no from your part-time jobs, you're getting no from this, that's okay. Anyways, something will figure out, it will happen for you sooner or later. How long did it take you to get this job? Like 1 month?
Yes, approximately 1 month. Yeah,
that's considerably like very less of what I see people,
I did a part-time gig of working in an event. So I worked in the founding team of an event. I was hands-on doing the event, so it was a sports event. But even they, like when I networked with the team and everyone, they said that when you graduate, we have a job for you ready. So that kind of circle, that kind of motivation, it drives me to find my right path. I was not ready to give up yet.
It's also about knocking on the right doors, I say. If you're not even trying, then you are just letting that opportunity go. It's okay, you try, keep on trying. You anyways, if you're doing a 1-year course or a 2nd-year course, 2-year course, I say, anyways, you gotta start at some point. Why not start earlier? As of now, a student has to apply for jobs. What would be your 5 tips to help them get their first field job? What would you say?
Correct. So honestly, the first job that I landed was purely because I gathered all the work that I did in my past. Of course, a lot of people who come here are freshers. They come right after their bachelor's and they don't have any work experience per se to describe what they've done. In my case, that was different. But I believe what one should do is apply for internships, or even through the educational journey, or volunteer volunteer the places that they can. So I believe that volunteering and gathering all your experiences, even if you don't have anything to show on your resume, just kind of pick up some projects, or work through, show what you're capable of, what value you are adding to the team. Even if you're working for a company for the as a starter, as a fresher, at least try that you have some skills to contribute to the company, because they pay you for the value that you bring to the table, right?
Yeah.
Obviously got to build your own skills. If you don't have skills back home, do certifications, do pick up internship, pick up volunteer work. There are multiple volunteering works open where you can go work for free. You can show that experience in your resume, even in Canada. Although they are not paid, and I understand that we have to pay our rents and keep up with the expenses, but it's not a big job. You have to just be there for for an event or something, but you gain a lot. At least what you gain is the experience of working with people and networking with the people. You would know some new faces, you would know some new connections, and that's what matters when you come to a new country. Third, obviously I would say that you have to be very self-motivated, because this country, here you are in the winter scenario for almost 6 months. It's tough to be at home, be alone. All the thoughts that cripple, even on the social media, we keep seeing the lives of different people doing different things. And we are very quickly demotivated in this era,
because you are
that,
in your
everyone
home,
is living a glamorous life,
right.
but it's not true. You have to be your own motivation. You have to drive yourself. Applying to the jobs, yes, do it mindfully. Email to the recruiters, message to the recruiters, reach out to your connections. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
One thing that I was very introvert. I did not speak with people when I was first here, because everything was new, and I had to open up. I had to be that person who actually goes and shamelessly asks you about things, and you have to, because you're in a new country, you're starting from scratch. You have to know people who would help you out. So you never know how one conversation would turn around, and that's my advice for the people coming here.
This country is not gonna be good for you if you're not ready to step out of your comfort zone. You have to be somebody who go out, interacts with people, network with them, and then you'll be able to get what you want in terms of job or in terms of lifestyle also. You can't just sit at your home and think that everything will be at its place. Canada, I see a lot of networking events happening.
Yeah.
Does they really help with job search? Or people say that I attended this networking event, I met a HR and he or she gave me or referred me to another event. Does this really help? Did you ever attend such event or anything?
Yes, the big companies like Microsoft, Deloitte, KPMG, every company here has the career networking or career kickstart event for the students coming here, because students are the major population of this country, and they have such networking events for students every now and then, and young professionals who are looking to start fresh. So although you would not land up a job with those networking events, but at least you will know people who will later on maybe someday help you out in some way. It's just nice to talk to people and know their story, know their journey, and
build connections.
Yeah,
basically.
because people coming there, they're also motivated like you are to find something, to work on something, because only that cream crowd you'll find is in the networking events, because that's exactly what you need here to survive as an international student and to build something for yourself.
I think don't go into those even thinking that you land up a job.
Yeah.
No, but just think of it. You are going out, you are stepping out of your comfort zone just to interact with people and let them know that you are in this country and you are looking for work.
Yeah.
Rather, it's just about building your connects on LinkedIn. Just think of it like that. You're doing it personally rather than just virtually sending them a connect.
Yeah.
What about references? References work? Like, I see every portal has this column says if you have any employee working and everything. Does references your work?
Yes, they do. If like for my job, the one in marketing manager, I did not knew how I landed it. up in the first place. When I was graduating from Sheridan, I applied through Sheridan portal.
Okay.
And the company reached out to one of the professor, who said that I'm sending you the resume. Is this a student from your course?
Okay.
And the professor actually said yes, and said a few nice things about me, maybe. And I found out about this a lot later when I joined this job and I was working, and randomly asked my employer one day, like, I actually do not remember how I landed up this job. Where did you get my resume from, or where exactly? Was it LinkedIn or? No, we applied, we got students from the Sheridan College portal, and we reached out to your professor, and they said some nice things about you. And I was shocked. I was like, wow, this really makes an impact.
Student, if you are applying for jobs, what is these like 3 or 4 steps that you can take to set yourself apart from the other competition?
You have to find a niche. Although marketing, you should know everything and anything, but find the jobs in your niche. Be very specific to one niche. Master the skills. Build your portfolio. Again, I'm repeating this because I personally did not have a portfolio, but it really helps when employer look at your results before versus after and things like that. It really makes an impact. And personal reach out. You see a job with 100 applicants, but I don't think out of 100, even 10 or 15 people might have reached out maximum. You are not selected, but you will still be in the eye of that recruiter, and he will, when falling back to the new applicants, when they are looking for a replacement, they might just reach out to you.
So within your 2 years, you have changed 3 companies, and you started from what was your title? You start
the marketing and sales associate,
and you are now a marketing manager. So that's really commendable. This trajectory happened for you, and especially I want to because this is something that all students would be interested in. The first job that you got, like field job, you usually get way more than what you get in your part-time hourly. So I want to know, what was your first pay?
Am I discussing my pay now?
Yeah, we are discussing your pay now. In the start, I want to know, what was your starting point?
I started at $20 per hour.
So that's way more than what you get basic pay here, that is around $16.
Yeah. And what currently earning is not hourly pay, it's a monthly pay.
Monthly pay.
So close to.
So see, that's commendable. It's an yearly package that people look for once they are done with their education and they start earning. And at that point, if you start early, then you can reach to a level that you get this pay. Any last advice to the listeners, to the watchers, you want to say to any international student who's in the market looking for a field job, or just landed or about to land in Canada?
One thing that I wanted to say is, you will not find a lot of people who will support and motivate you throughout your dreams and what you're doing. Only you know your journey. So for me, the breakthrough of what I am doing right now is just because I listened to that inner voice that said, "Nahi Simran, you know much better than these people know about you." Because I was new here, these people know me for a few days. I've known me for, of course. Just be yourself motivator and try to gain more and more hands-on experience. Talk to people, be out there. It's very difficult. I am an introvert person. I know how difficult it is for me to go beyond my boundaries and go network with people or just speak to people, but it feels really nice after you do, and in the end, I would just end at this note that experience is what you get when you don't get what you want.
Thank you, Simran, for being here. I would just like to say that I hope you all get something out of this podcast, and I have got so much to learn from her. I've got
She'll admire me.
So I hope that you are motivated by this, because I know that being in Canada and listening to everybody saying that this is the only path, this is what you have to follow, and getting to see your friends doing part-time job, you feel that no, I need to do this only. You have to take your time and focus on what is important for you, and I hope that you do so and you get a job, and I don't know, who knows, next time you are sitting next to me or somebody and sharing your story like Simran is doing right now. Thank you, Simran, for being here, and
you, Shreya,
I
for
shall
having me.
see you in the next podcast. Till then, bye.